Hey everyone, I'm Michael Senoff, Vice President of Community Living for the Austin Scholars here at Merrimack College, and today it is my great pleasure to introduce the Tony Munzing. For those of you that don't know, Tony was the first Austin Scholars President and a recent alumni, graduating last year with the class of 2020. Tony also received the Merrimack Gold Medal Award, which is the most significant award and the highest honor that an undergrad can receive. But Tony's achievements don't stop there, as he is most recently a recipient of the Notre Dame ACE Fellowship Award. So today we are going to hear from Tony and hear about his experiences this summer and also his work that he's doing right now in an actual classroom. So Tony, can you tell us a little bit about what ACE stands for and what this fellowship entails basically?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me, Mike. It's a really great honor and privilege to be talking with you today. So ACE is the Alliance for Catholic Education, and it's a program through Notre Dame, the University of Notre Dame, that contains a bunch of different, I would say, sub-programs. And the one that I find myself in is the Teaching Fellows program, where I'm assigned a classroom, and I get to teach that classroom full-time, just like any full-staff teacher. And along with that, I'm also achieving my Master's of Education through the University of Notre Dame. It's a really great program, and it's a huge honor that I'm a part of it. And the program is spread all across the United States. So there's sites all the way down Brownsville, Texas, as north as Minnesota, California, New York, and everywhere in between. So it's really great to be part of a program that's so large and extensive like this, and to be making a difference in Catholic schools.
No, and that's absolutely awesome. So you said you're working with a fifth grade classroom. What's that been like?
It's been more than interesting. Currently, we're in, I would say, our second week of teaching. And honestly, just the first 2 weeks are getting to know the students and their stories. Looking back on my time with Austin Scholars, I had the awesome privilege to be a part of Lawrence Catholic Academy and be a tutor and after school worker there. And getting to know those students in Lawrence was amazing. Just, what their life was like outside of schools, what were their interests, what were some of the stories that they were carrying with them that really shape who they are as people. And that's what I'm finding with my fifth graders now, except I get to really dive into their lives and their stories a little bit more than just being a tutor. So it's really exciting being a part of this whole new classroom community. It's like my little family now. And every day they bring something different to school, whether it's a story of, something in their life that has gone wrong for them, or something great that has really just brought up them as a person, as a student. So just getting to know these fifth graders has been an amazing part so far. We're just diving into our content and academics now. So it's also great to be able to see the students' strengths, talents, and abilities in the classroom.
That's awesome. That's super cool. And what does that kind of look like in this new kind of COVID world, this new normal? How have things changed in terms of that?
It's definitely made everything very, very interesting. First off, the most prominent observation anyone would have coming into this school is that every student and teacher, staff member is wearing a mask. Whenever we're inside the building, we have to maintain our social distance, wear a mask. And for any grade level student, K through 8, that's a little bit more difficult than someone like me and you in college or whatever it may be, where we really understand the risks that in this world we kind of live in now. So it's important to educate students on why they should be doing it, rather than sort of directing and ordering them to, put on their mask or social distance, but really giving them a reason why we do this, for our families, for each other, for ourselves. So it's certainly been interesting and made my teaching a little bit more difficult in terms of the group work and everything like that. But it's the challenges that everyone's in, and it's kind of like I'm not alone thing. So it's always a good thing to keep in mind.
No, definitely. I think that's like a huge important part of it, is that it's it's a lot larger than just for you. The mask isn't for you, it's for everyone, and kind of just like expanding their scope instead of just them, but that, there's a reason we're doing stuff.
Definitely.
Well, going along with that, I mean, since you've kind of this summer, you've been the student, and even last year you were the student, and now you're the teacher. So what would you say would be the biggest takeaway or lesson that you've learned from from teaching in this new normal that you're in? Or what would be your biggest takeaway, I guess, looking, because you've seen both sides of it now. So
Yeah, definitely. Just looking around the classroom, I've been trying to get my students more so into the mindset that we need to put ourselves in each other's shoes. A lot of the students that we serve through the ACE program are part of more so an impoverished area. The schools, not all of them, but many of them tend to be under-resourced, basic supplies and necessities. And the spirit that we bring into the classroom really makes a difference. And I want students to understand that they're not alone in whatever thick they might find themselves in. For example, we have one student who is still sort of in and out of the foster care system, and another one who may not have mom and dad. And just these students, and when they butt heads, you can only think to yourself, well, look at how the art situation the art person finds themselves in. And just being able to understand each other and empathy, it's more important now than ever. Like you mentioned, Mike, in this new COVID world, we really just have to be nice to each other. A smile, please, and thank you goes such a long way. We find a lot of people who are tense nowadays because they have to wear a mask when they're shopping or going out. A lot more restrictions we have on daily life. So just kindness is something we really can spread, and I hope to bring to my students in the classroom.
no, that's so real. And, a little bit goes a long way, definitely, with that. And, just giving them something positive, because, school, especially for little kids, it's not the most positive thing all the time, but, giving them something to look forward to is definitely, something big, especially now. I guess one of my last questions is, how would you say Austin Scholars and that experience, you spent 4 years at the program, how would you say that helped you got to this point in your life?
Yeah, I kind of touched on this before, but when I was at Lawrence Catholic Academy through my Austin Scholar Service, I really just took interest in the students' lives. I started out as a math tutor, and if you know me at all, math is just, it's not my thing, and they shouldn't let me teach it, to be honest, but here I am. And it was more than just tutoring these students in math. It was, getting to pull them out of the classroom for 30 minutes and really just asking them how their day was. And that kind of got the motor running for me in terms of thinking of my future. What do I want to do? What's really my passion and motivates me? And it's kind of being in the lives of others, and especially students in K through 8. Through that, I really just also found a love for theology through the Austin Scholars classes. The classes we've had with Sister Jean, Dr. Kelly, Dr. Manson, Professor Ridenauer, and many, many other awesome professors in the RTS department really just shaped me and my moral outlook on life. And that's just such a great gift that I've been given. And eventually in the Austin Scholars, I had the awesome opportunity to student teach at Central Catholic High School. And there I got to know many high schoolers from the Lawrence, Lowell, and Methuen area who carried very similar stories to the students I have now. And especially in the theology classroom, those stories just really shine, and they're able to look on them in new light through whatever they're learning in the classroom. So now I'm able to take all those experiences from Austin Scholars and bring them to my own classroom community. For my students now that I have in 5th grade, it's really just a place they can call home. The classroom I view as a safe place where, everyone should be showing kindness and empathy towards each other. And students certainly come in with, very bad attitudes because they might have had a bad night the night before, bad morning, whatever it may be. But just hitting that reset button once we start our work for the day, and we begin every morning with what we call a morning meeting, where students just get to share, how they've been feeling, what's been going on in their life, just to get to build community with these students. I often find it more than just the content and just what's in the textbook, and more so focusing on the whole student. And I really learned that, especially through Augustinian pedagogy with Dr. Kelly. He's just been a great influence for me.
No, I think so many Austin Scholars would definitely agree with you on that. And that's even something that important that I think we should bring to the dorms, even, is your little morning meetings. I think that's super helpful, is giving them a platform to just kind of talk and express how they're feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, before we wrap up, do you have any words of encouragement for the current freshman class and us that are still on campus, or any type of motivation you can offer?
Yeah, super cliche, but it needs to be said. Whatever you put into the program, whatever you put into your time at Merrimack, that's exactly what you're going to get out. If you strive to be the best person you can be and to sort of follow your passions and whatever motivates you, then you're going to find that your 4 years at Merrimack were lived to the fullest and you took advantage of every opportunity you could. So that's just what I encourage anyone, even if you're past freshman year and you're still, kind of journeying through and finding your niche at Merrimack. Just look for what makes you passionate, and really what you put in is what you get out.